So this is how it looks early in the morning. The boardwalk. Hello. We decided to run on the boardwalk just instead of the beach, just because I don't want to clean his paws too much. So we're gonna do the jog here. Morning. Anyway, we'll use the opportunity to finish what I started, since looks like we will have a longer run here. It's this beautiful, the beach. I like that sleepiness that engulfs the world early in the morning. Yes, Rudy? Come. Anyway, not supposed to run too much because of my knee. Supposed to take a break. Right. Which we shall do soon. Anyway, so this is day number 79 of our run/exercise. Yesterday I returned after 2 days of not running due to knee issues, because I overdid it. We're not gonna overdo it today, right? Yeah. So Eli Lilly, 1838 to 1898, died a month shy of 60 years old. Family immigrated from Sweden through France, came in 1798, the year of the revolution in France, into the United States. First came to Maryland, then to Indiana, and then he was one of 11 children, so a big family. You want to do some pull-ups, Rudy? Can you use the opportunity to do little pull-ups here? And use it for a break for the knee. Alright, let's see. There's a potential here to do some. Let's see. Let's do some pull-ups. Alright, let's go. Continue our run. Let's run back. Looks like maybe our friend overslept. It's hard. It's a holiday. And yesterday, obviously everybody had to take some time. So I have to say there was a beautiful movie that I watched with the kids yesterday. It was Coco. Lovely movie with lessons. Really enjoyed it. Highly recommend for the family. It's about life, and what matters is that people will be able to live forever if they're remembered. And it is funny because it's kind of, you want to run faster, I know, sorry. It's funny because that's, in a way, what we're doing each run, by dedicating it to someone. Perhaps we're helping them live forever. So, back to Eli Lilly. he was an apprentice, did apprenticeship for printing. You see everybody coming out, whether with a walker and a dog. Oh yes, you're protecting, that's good. Protecting his boss. And he would use this printing knowledge later on when he would recruit for the army that he would join in 1861 as a private, and later on as a colonel. He would make an artillery battery that he was able to recruit from his friends and colleagues from school. Before he left the war, he was married and his wife got pregnant. There is a rule where you don't have to go to the army if you're just married, if you just planted the vineyard, or if you just had a child, and yet he decided to join the Union Army. Got many commendations, then got captured, was a prisoner for a year, released, and returned back to war in 1866. At the end of the war, he returned and he saw his beautiful son. I'm sorry if I said it was a daughter, it was a son that was born. And he bought in New Orleans plantation, cotton plantation, and together with a partner went into business. Unfortunately, as I was telling you earlier, everybody got sick. Most likely it was malaria. But the person he lost was his wife. He was completely devastated by that. And he recovered and decided to have everybody return back to Indiana. The idea also was that there were many, like unfortunately today, medications and creams that were promised to help and give results, but in fact gave nothing of the sort. They were just fake. There have been cases here where medications for attention deficit disorder were actually fake, or chemo medications that were sold that were fake, and that is something that's quite sad. So he started the process that would eventually culminate in the formation of the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, which was initially not separated but part of the agricultural society, and that started in about 1883. And the idea was that people who promise that the medication will deliver a certain result had to be held accountable for that promise. Unfortunately, today the FDA is so overwhelmed that medications, including fillers from other countries which have not been tested here, are used, and I see a lot of patients with side effects from those fillers. Yes, they buy them cheaper and therefore offer the injections also cheaper, but if you take chance, they call me. No, I did not see Ross. Did you see Ross? No. It's can cause side effects. So so he left back to Indiana. His partner ended up his own boutique. Пойдем уже домой. We have to. You too, take care. Fortunately, we'll have to go home already. I need to bind you here. Unfortunately, we're gonna go through roads. Come, Rudy. Where are you? Let's go. So he had to announce bankruptcy because his partner, they had a bad year with crops, and his partner left with the money, he announced bankruptcy and went back to business that he knew, which is another lesson. You know, if you don't know certain business, it's better not to get into it, because then you're dependent on someone else for its success, and really tough for you to control unless you study it really hard and well. So all those investments that may look like they're a bargain may end up being a money pit. Rudy, we're gonna walk back. Wait, not so fast. This is cement. And he starts hurting a little bit. So yes, I announced bankruptcy. And then he starts working for a pharmaceutical company, basically for a pharmacy. There weren't that many manufacturers then, and there was no manufacturer who did research. And he starts getting the idea of making another pharmacy on his own. He goes to these 3 people in Indiana saying, why don't we open a pharmacy together? And they say, you know what, why don't you open a manufacturing company? We'll buy from you. And so he rents a place, has 3 employees. His 14-year-old son is one of those employees. Rents a place in Indiana and starts manufacturing. And he sells it first just to those 3 pharmacies who buy the stuff from him cheaper. And he starts, as we said before, with chloroquine because of his experience with his wife. But unlike others, what he promises is what he delivers. And people see that he's a man of his word, and they begin to buy from him. And then in his lab, he starts researching, and the sugar-coated pill and the gelatin pills, something that he invented. And those things help swallowing those medications, because before the medications were very bitter, and they said, well, you know what? It works when it's kind of sour, but it's not the truth. And if any of you watched Mary Poppins, you remember how it is, the song, and it's based on him. A spoon full of sugar helps the medicine go down. Good morning. Good, how are you? Have a lovely day. And he later on starts producing medication for a venereal disease, for rheumatology, for psoriasis. So those medications all do very well, and he becomes the largest business in Indianapolis. And Indiana starts selling it to other states. His son, he sends him to school in Philadelphia for pharmacy in 1880. And when he comes back, he makes him in charge of all the research there. And he develops an entire unit that deals with research. And then in 1890, he passes it over to his son. And that's also a big lesson. A lot of people have corporations. A lot of kings rule kingdoms, and they enjoy that power so much they don't want to let go of it. And their children feel like they do all the hard work, but they don't count. So it is important to know at which point you should also allow your children to take over. And it was wise that he did that at an early stage, because he would later on, in another 8 years die. And it wasn't like he wasn't doing anything or he was tired. He just wanted to allow them to take responsibility for everything, and he felt that they deserved it. And it's important that they were also patient. And today I think the youth is not very patient. They look for immediate gratification. Loyalty is a rare commodity. Working out through problems in life is a rare commodity. People switch from one thing to the other thing. So it was very wise and progressive of him to have done, in my opinion, what he had done. And what he did for the rest of those 8 years is he concentrated on philanthropy. Obviously, he remained in the capacity of an advisor for the company. And his company lives still today and is very successful, sells to more than 125 countries, and is the largest business in Indiana, where it's still based from. So for all of you, for this new year, I wish a lot of sweetness. But if you do happen to go through hard times and stumble or even fall, I wish you all to have the power, the belief in yourself that you will be able to stand up and learn from your mistakes and actually do better. And love, and of course peace to the world.